Hello everybody! Time to get your scooter out of winter hibernation. The scooter is nice and covered for the winter, okay? Try to find a cover that is weatherproof, waterproof, and is breathable, okay? So if the scooter needs to breathe inside, okay? It cannot make any moist or have any condensation inside. If not, for the winter it's going to get rusty. Alright, time to uncover. If you did the right thing to winterize your scooter at the beginning of the winter, the scooter should be on the center stand, not touching the ground. Now these scooters, they don't really have a great center stand. So try to put a brick or something underneath to elevate the back tire and the front tire if you can. If not, for the summer or for a month, you're going to have a flat spot on your tire. So you're going to be like blue, 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 kind of like that, okay? So the first thing you have to think about it, if you didn't winterize your scooter right, if you didn't remove the battery for the winter, the problem is the battery. Because if you try to turn on the scooter, after 3 months, your scooter is not going to start. So what are you going to need? You're going to need to check your battery, okay? You're going to need to have a multimeter right here. The multimeter, you're going to put this multimeter at 20 volt direct current, okay? So what you're gonna need, you're gonna try to test the battery, okay? Battery, just elevate your carpet. Now, in all the scooter, you should have a cover here. I don't have it because I put a larger battery, okay? Now, you're going to touch with the probe the black side, and you're gonna need to have this one stuck in there, and you're going to touch the red. Now, on a good battery, you should have 12.63. That will be the reading, okay? But if you have lower than 5 volts in the battery, it's time to get the battery out and recharge, okay? So that's the first thing you're going to do. This is the battery charger, okay? You're going to remove the battery, put it on the side, and charge. You're going to charge the battery at 6 ampere, 12 volts, okay? The longer you charge the battery, the better charge will get, okay? Now, in the same time that you're charging the battery, you can do a lot of little things, okay? Okay, in the same time that you're charging your battery, you can check your tire, because for sure in this winter your tire lost some pressure, okay? So just buy a simple pressure gauge for your tire and you can check the tire, okay? So what you're going to do, you can check the tires right here. Your back tire should be around 30 psi. Your front tire should be around 26 psi or around there. I don't really want to put the back tire on a higher psi, because what you can do, you're gonna bounce around with the scooter with your back, unless you have 2 people riding the scooter at all time, but usually you don't, okay? So the back tire between 30 to 32 psi, the front tire between 26 and 28 psi, okay? Now do not stretch the tire right away. Don't push too much air inside or they're gonna be cracks on the side. So you have to be gentle with this scooter and the tires and the plastic that is in the scooter, okay? So what you're gonna do, you just get a pressure gauge and you check your tire. You're gonna unscrew a little valve that you have right here, okay? And you're going to press the the gauge on the valve. To make sure you have the right pressure. Okay, the right PSI for the back is 32 PSI. Okay? Okay, make sure to unscrew the cap of the valve. In the same time when you unscrew the cap of the valve, make sure the valve is not cracked. Okay? Because if it's cracked right here around it, on the rubber, you might have some problem. It might leak, okay? Now what you're gonna do, you're just gonna press the pressure gauge on the valve, and you're gonna see what's the pressure right here. I have my pressure on the front tire at 22 PSI, okay? So that's good enough for me. I kind of like this way. Because too hard, you're gonna feel like bouncing around, you know? More pressure on the PSI on the front, you're gonna feel like you're not driving the right way, okay? So this one is 22 PSI and the back is 32 PSI, okay? That's when you're driving by yourself alone. If you drive alone with another person in the back, you should have between 32 to 36 PSI, okay? Okay, in the same time that your battery is charging, you have a few more things to do. Buy this one, WD-40 Specialist for silicone water resistant lubricant, okay? What you're gonna do with this one is a lot of little things. In the winter, there is a lot of condensation, rust can happen, corrosion can happen. This one is going to bring your scooter back to life, okay? First thing you're gonna do, you're gonna put it right here. Where is the key, ignition key? Give a little spray, get the key, and going in and out with the key, okay? Give it some love with the WD-40 silicone, okay? Don't put too much, but just enough for the scooter to enjoy, okay? Okay, make sure you can turn the key. Make sure the key is turning freely and happy, okay? So, after you're done with the key, I want you to open here, okay? I have a video that already opened this part right here. There is one long nut right here and a throttle cable, and there is one smaller. Do not move in this small nut, just push on the left the larger nut, okay? At the throttle cable. As soon you expose the cable, I want you to spray some of this WD-40. When you spray, let it go in, okay? And move your throttle a little bit so the juice can go inside, okay? And it's going to help your throttle to be more free and lubricated and enjoy its life, okay? After you're done with this one, I want you to bend your scooter and spray this silicone on the brake, rear brake. Okay. Why do I bend the scooter? I bend the scooter to make sure it's going to go inside the tube, okay? So, I want you to spray the silicone at the rear brake, okay? Okay, next thing I want you to do is to open right here, the little door. What you're gonna find here is the head of your motor, okay? on the right side you're going to find the spark plug, okay? I want you to remove the spark plug, okay? And what you're going to do, removing the spark plug, you're going to spray some of this WD-40 silicone inside the cylinder, okay? After you spray this one, you're going to put the plug back, the spark plug back, okay? Why? Because that cylinder and the piston is really long time they don't meet each other, okay? They don't go up and down together again for a while. So you don't want to have too much friction inside there when this scooter is going to first start, okay? So plus some lubricant inside the cylinder before you start it, okay? At this point you can put the spark plug back inside, you can close back this part right here, and you're good to go. Okay, right here the front brake, you don't have a cable here, okay? But there is a bolt and a nut over here that they help this level goes up and down, okay? So slightly spray at the bolt a little bit of this lubricant, okay? And you know there is a little rubber of the piston of the lever and the brake that needs a little bit lubrication, needs to look alive, okay? If you let the rubber dry at the brake, it will break at the end, okay? So it needs a little more life, okay? So we lubricate this one, we lubricate the throttle cable, we lubricate the rear brake, and we put some lubrication right here at the ignition key, okay? Okay, at this point I want you to open your seat. Remove the cap right here, the fuel cap. Remove the container. Now I don't keep the bolts right here, okay? But you should have two bolts right here, they're 10 millimeter, and two bolts at the end of your compartment, okay? So you can remove them. You remove this container, you put back the fuel cap over here, okay? Now with this silicone spray, WD-40 spray, I want you to spray the locking mechanism for your seat right here, because this one in the winter can get some corrosion. So at that point this one will get stuck, so you don't want this one to get stuck. So if you get stuck, you can open your seat, so you get in trouble, okay? Now you can spray a little bit WD-40 right here at the cable, okay? Now because you got the key right here, spray some lubricant right here, the key too, not too much, just a little bit. Insert the key, in and out, in and out, in and out, and turn, okay? So you want to give some movement to the cable to get lubricated, okay? Out the key, okay? At this point we're gonna go a little more difficult thing with this silicone. You need to revive this scooter, okay? This scooter needs to become alive again. Remember, at this time you have your battery in charge, okay? So the only thing you can do a little things to kill some time and make this scooter work properly, okay? Let's go at the carburetor. The carburetor is right on the center of your motor right here on the top, okay? With this one we can do a few things. Okay, right here we have the head of your carburetor. That's where you have the diaphragm, okay? Diaphragm is made of rubber, okay? It's made of soft rubber. In the winter can get a little sticky because it's not a long time that it's going up and down. It doesn't really work in the winter time. So these can get a little hard, okay? This will get a little less flexibility, okay? So you need to revive this diaphragm a little bit with the lubricant, okay? So to open this top of the carburetor, you don't really need to remove the old carburetor. You only have 2 screws, okay? And few wires. Now be careful when you open the top of your carburetor. The diaphragm has a spring, so if you open, it's gonna pop, okay? So be careful. Disconnect the vacuum line that goes on the top of the diaphragm of the carburetor. That is on the right side of the carburetor, okay? Right here, there is a diaphragm vacuum line. Make sure you don't lose the screw. There is a screw on the top, okay? This is the cover of the top of your carburetor. Okay. This is the diaphragm, okay? This is what inside the carburetor. There is a little tooth right here. I call it tooth, okay? Little part that goes in the groove right there on the top of your carburetor. Okay, so what you're going to do, you're gonna to inspect this part, okay, and spray a little bit of this. Let's spray a little bit of this silicone. Should have used the gloves, okay. Anyway, only on the outside right here, okay, only on the outside. You don't need to spray inside, okay. And a little bit on the bottom. You can put some cloth underneath so you don't spray all over, okay? So, at this point, when you're done putting a little bit of grease or silicone lubricant on this part right here, that is the diaphragm that goes up and down and let the gas go through the carburetor, you can put it back. Make sure you put the needle in the hole. Okay, that's the way it should be. That's the way it has to go. Okay, press the border of the diaphragm to the top of the carburetor. Gently, okay, gently. You don't want to break it. Okay, you see this top of the carburetor X2 match the top of the carburetor. There is a corner here and there is a round on the bottom, okay? So you have to make sure you match the screws, okay? So if you match the screw, everything is gonna be fine, okay? Try to put your finger all the time before you put the screws, because if you put the screws, if you don't put the screws and you leave the top of the carburetor, this one is gonna jump on you, okay? Be gentle. You can do this job with a screwdriver. You don't have to do like me with a driller, because I love the electrical tools and I keep doing it with electrical tools. But I have the feeling on how to do it, okay? Okay, make sure you place all the cable that was right here before in the same way you found it. Okay, there was an electrical wire right here. Squeeze it by the top of the carburetor. There is a vacuum line on the right side of the carburetor. Okay, so make sure you put it back. If you don't put those things back, your scooter is not going to start. Okay. Okay, we just lubricate the diaphragm, okay, that is inside here. Now the scooter is able to raise and lower the diaphragm. Now the diaphragm is not dry, it is lubricated, okay. That's one of the things you could do. Okay, you still have your lubricant, okay. There is a spring right on the right side of the carburetor, a large spring. I want you to spray with the lubricant right here, okay? There is a spring where is the throttle coming through, okay? There is the throttle cable and there is a spring. The throttle, spring next to the carburetor. Lubricate that spring, okay? Why? Because the spring goes up and down. If by any chance that spring gets stuck, your carburetor doesn't accelerate, so you get stuck. Right here we have the petcock. Petcock is a valve that allowed your fuel to go from the gas tank to the carburetor. For sure your carburetor is going to be dry if you empty your carburetor before you winterize your scooter. Hopefully you didn't left any gas inside the carburetor. How you do that? Underneath the carburetor there is a valve, a screw where you can empty actually your carburetor, okay? Bowl, the carburetor bowl, when the scooter is off, okay? Now the bowl, the carburetor is empty. Before you start your scooter, you need to fill up that bowl of the carburetor underneath. So you can try to start your scooter and allow this valve to open up and fill up the carburetor, but sometimes it takes a long time, it will drain your battery. So what you need to do, you need to disconnect the vacuum line that it will be on the top right here, okay? Disconnect this valve, this tube, the hose. Disconnect it, put it on the side. You should reconnect it later. And disconnect the fuel line. Those fuel line, they're 316, okay? The fuel line that goes to your carburetor, I want you to disconnect it. Now to help your scooter, to fill up the bowl of the carburetor, I want you to make a bottle like that, okay? You fill her up with gas. You fill her up with good fuel, good juice, and you connect it right here. You connect it right here, and you squeeze, and you let the gas go in your carburetor. So doing that, you're going to give a little help to your starter, a little help to your carburetor. You fill up the carburetor this way, okay? Underneath the bowl of the carburetor. When you fill it up, you think you fill it up and it start to come up here, the gas, that means it's filled up. You reconnect the line that goes to the petcock, to the valve, and you reconnect the vacuum line. Make sure you tie them up, okay? Now when you're here, you can expect the fuel filter, okay? Since you're here, okay? That's one thing you can expect. You look around, if the scooter looks okay, it's great. Sometimes it's not just a look, sometimes the problem will come when you start your scooter, okay? At this point you can put your compartment back, okay? Remove the fuel cap, put the compartment, put the fuel cap back, okay? Put the screws, the bolt that you have here, one bolt here, one bolt here, one bolt at the end, one bolt at the end, is about 10 millimeter. Those bolts are 10 millimeter, okay? So, done this, we already give a little help to the engine. What we have to do now, we have to unscrew this part right here. Okay, at this point what we have to do, I will unscrew this part right here. I will buy a new filter for the 100G Y650cc, okay? This one you can find online for about $10, okay? What happened with the filter? Sometime in the winter, with the moisture, with the condensation, with the bad weather, you're gonna build some mold. You're gonna be some mold in the filter right here. So, to open this up, there is a lot of little screws. They're Phillips screws, okay? Make sure you move them one by one and hold them with your hand. Because if you do not hold them with your hand, they're gonna go inside the engine. And before you find them, it's going to be Christmas. And you know what? When you lose a screw like that, you know where it goes? To your tires, okay? All the time. Look like your tires, they are magnets for little screws like that. So take your time, one by one, remove all these little screws. Okay, right after you remove all the screws, so you can bring this up. What you're gonna do, you're going to replace this one. Okay, you're gonna put it right here. That's how you should put this filter, okay? Smaller part up, larger part down, okay, like that. Now you can close this one, expect a little bit, expect all the screws, make sure everything is inside is good, there is not too much dirt, and you're going to close this one again. Now one by one the screw, try to start them by hand, okay? Make sure to do not over tie the screws, because sometimes they can break the plastic. Okay, we just changed the air filter. That's another thing that you do when you take your scooter out of winter hibernation, okay? Getting ready for spring. So, what we did, change the filter with the lubricate the diaphragm inside the carburetor. So we allowed the diaphragm to raise up and up down freely and a little more life with the lubrication. We lubricate the spring at the carburetor. That always helps because the carburetor spring always does that movement. So if you lubricate it, you're gonna feel it when you turn your throttle, and will help the cable to come back freely. Okay, so that's another thing. We lubricate the lock at the seat and the lock key at the seat right here. Okay, that's helpful. Okay, the next thing you're going to do to get your scooter out of winter hibernation is to change the motor oil. This one is the one that I really like, is a 1040 Mobile 1, okay? 1040 Mobile 1 for racing 40, you know? This oil is pretty good. I like it really a lot because it keeps the temperature of your motor down, okay? So, this one, you're only going to need 23 ounces, okay? To fill up your oil reservoir. Down here, where is your exhaust, there is a 40mm bolt. I want you to open that one. Put something underneath before you open. Open that one, drain your oil, close it again, okay? Don't close it too hard, okay? Close it, but not too hard, because you might break the threading. If you break the threading of the bottom side of your engine, is a big problem, okay? Now up here, on the left side of your motor fan, there is a hole with a dipstick right here. That's where you can place your oil, okay? Only place 23 ounces. Do not place more. Right here on your dipstick, there is a lot of excess, okay? If you look at the excess, do not go above, okay? Outdoor excess. It can be underneath, in the middle, or slightly lower, but never above. If you go above the axis that you see on your dipstick, you're going to have a problem, because with pressure the oil will come up to the filter and will get the filter dirty. At that point your scooter will not start. Why? Because the oil will get the filter dirty and will not allow the filter to breathe, okay? So, make sure you fill the oil very carefully, okay? Because if you put too much, it's going to go up here to the air filter. If it goes up here to the air filter, your filter doesn't breathe anymore, finito. Number one, you're gonna need a new one. Number two, you have to remove a few ounces of motor oil from your engine, okay? Two. Okay, next thing you can do to get your scooter out of winter hibernation is to change the gear oil. Gear oil, you need like a ADW90 gear oil, a good quality, okay? And down here, underneath, you have a bolt. Remove the bolt, drain the gear oil, and then you close the bolt. Be nice, be gentle, don't squeeze it too much. I did it before. Squeeze it gently, okay? Because if you unthread the threading right underneath, you have a problem. After you put that bolt underneath, there is another screw right here that you open and you fill up with gear oil. Gear oil is about 8 ounces. That's I put inside. Around 8 ounces, 9 ounces. What I do, I just fill it up and see when it starts to slightly come out, I close the bolt right there. Some people don't like that. I like to do that way. Anyway, make sure you change the gear oil too, because when you keep your scooter in the winter, the oil might become thicker and thicker, and it might be no good anymore, okay? The price of changing the gear oil is 30 minutes of your time, okay? The price of changing the gears is a lot more money, okay? So change the gear oil, okay? Okay, another thing you should do when you winterize your scooter is close your exhaust system, okay? Put something like a cork, bottle cork or wine cork, something there to make sure nothing goes inside your exhaust, okay? Plus, if you keep it closed, no condensation is gonna build inside your exhaust, okay? But when you take your scooter out of hibernation, for the spring, ready to go out, take that cork out, okay? Because your scooter is not gonna start in the right way. Okay, let's talk about the gas. Right here, you have the gas tank. Open up the gas tank. That's the next thing you can do with your scooter when you want to get your scooter out of hibernation for the summertime. We're getting ready for the spring. Look inside, okay? Look inside the tank. Do you see anything suspicious inside there? Do you see anything that's not supposed to be there? Do you see the clear of the color of your gas or the fuel, okay? Now, there's two things you can do for the winter. You can empty the tank, okay? And close this one to make sure nothing goes inside, okay? Just close the tank, okay? And you want to make sure there is no condensation, so you have to close everything, okay? Now, the other thing that I really suggest, that I really prefer, is to fill up all the way your gas tank and put some stabilizer for the winter time. When you put some stabilizer, you fill it up all the way. When you fill it up all the way, there is no space for condensation inside your tank, so it cannot build any rust. It doesn't go bad. And plus, when you're going to turn on your scooter, this gas, this fuel is gonna be okay. It's not gonna be the best, but it's still gonna be an okay juice for your scooter, okay? Now, if you didn't do nothing of that, if you didn't empty or if you didn't do nothing, I want you to take this one right here. There is a little connection right here on the right side underneath your tank. Put something underneath, you put another tube, and you can drain the tank, okay? If you do not save your gas in a good way for the winter, what you have to do is just have to empty the tank, okay? Put some fresh gas inside, put some fresh juice inside your scooter, so you're gonna have a better life with your scooter, okay? Because it might not start because there is all bad gas came up or something, okay? So you want some fresh juice. Changing this gas is gonna be essential to your motor, because something of this goes inside your filter. Close the filter up, the flow of the fuel doesn't go to your carburetor, okay? So empty the gas and get some fresh gas, not the one that you have in your garage. Go to get some fresh juice, okay? All right, thank you. Okay, after you charge your battery with a battery charger for at least 3 hours, or around there. Many battery chargers tells you if the battery is good or not, okay? Usually my battery chargers Fault 1 or something like that, that sells in the back. If your battery is not good, at that point you can even throw your battery away, you know, dispose it the right way, bring it to some kind of company where they're gonna recycle it, okay? And buy a new one online. Online, your battery is about $36, $46, $50, $60, something around that. Try to get a good quality battery. If you get a good quality battery, your scooter is gonna be more reliable, okay? So, anyway, if you charge your battery and your battery is okay, you don't need to buy one. So you can save money, okay? The good thing comes now. What you have to do, you have to try to start your scooter. Don't get scared right away if your scooter doesn't start at the first, okay? The gas has to go from your tank to the carburetor. I understand that you help a little bit your carburetor tank fuel go in with the little bottle that I show you. Still, the scooter needs to come back alive. It doesn't needs a little time, okay? So try to press the start button, okay? Few times, okay? Do not attach yourself to the start button for 30 minutes and expecting the scooter to start, okay? So try to push this button 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 10 seconds at a time, okay? If you see that the scooter is not starting, let the scooter rest before you're going to drain your battery. If you drain your battery, yes, you can jump start your scooter connected to your car, but do not turn your car on, because the alternator of your battery, of the car battery, will fry some wires on these scooters, okay? So do not do that. Attach your scooter to your car, but do not turn your car on, okay? Now, right here we have the start button. Keep trying to start. If your scooter doesn't start, wait a few more minutes. Okay, at this point it could be the electric, it could be the fuel is not flowing yet, it could be the carburetor that is gummed up. There was maybe some gas left inside and looked like it turned to honey or gummed up and closed the main jet, and the scooter is not starting. Or you might get lucky, after a few seconds your scooter might start, okay? So do not raise the throttle right away 100 miles an hour with your scooter and expect the scooter to go crazy, okay? So let the scooter warm up and release all the condensation that is inside the engine, okay? Let the scooter warm up, let the scooter become alive, okay? Be gentle, okay? After a while, then when the engine starts to warm up, you see if the scooter stays on. If it stays on, that's a good sign. There is a good sign that the gas is flowing, the carburetor is supposed to be clean, and look like the machine is working at the moment, okay? Now, before you go out with the scooter, have a helmet, prepare yourself, okay? It's not just the scooter that is not being on the street for a while, but you are the one that is not being in the street for a while, okay? The streets are maybe not be the same. If you are in a place where there was snow, that could be possible that there is leftover salt on the street. Sometimes the streets are being treated in the winter time with salt or some kind of other stuff. So make sure you are careful, okay? You don't want to go down with the scooters, because you're gonna hurt yourself, okay? Be safe and take care of the scooter and take care of yourself, okay? So I hope I show you a few things how to get this scooter back on the street for the spring and get it back out of hibernation for the summertime, okay? So please be careful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Please subscribe to my channel, and I'm always here. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.